Next chapter, famous motivational quotes. Read below the huge collection of famous motivational quotes. I have taken care to collect only the quotes that are helpful to give positive energy. It is very difficult to attribute the correct author. I did my best to do that. Anyway, check with other sources for verifying the correctness. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the little voice at the end of the day that says, I will try again tomorrow. Mary Ann Radmacher. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. Abraham Lincoln. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. A creative man is motivated by the desire to achieve, not by the desire to beat others. Ayn Rand. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. John F. Kennedy. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Lao Tzu. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Winners don't quit. Quitters don't win. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. John F. Kennedy. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Dalai Lama. Those who want to succeed will find a way. Those who don't will find an excuse. Leo Aguilar. No great man ever complains of want of opportunities. Ralph Waldo Emerson. To succeed in your mission, you must have single-minded devotion to your goal. Abdul Kalam. Cry, forgive, learn, move on. Let your tears water the seeds of your future happiness. Steve Maraboli. Do the necessary, do the possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Happiness is found in doing, not merely possessing. You block your dreams when you allow your fear to grow bigger than your faith. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. Bill Cosby. Your words will tell others what you think. Your actions will tell them what you believe. If an egg breaks by external force, life ends. If by internal force, life begins. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. Albert Einstein. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Theodore Roosevelt. When mother is happy, family is happy. When family is happy, nation is happy. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I have learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. I don't measure a man's success by how high he climbs, but how high he bounces when he hits bottom. George S. Patton. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Mahatma Gandhi. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier. If the only prayer you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Albert Einstein. If you want to be happy, be. Leo Tolstoy. Minds are like parachutes. They only function when open. Thomas DeVere. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Mahatma Gandhi. A person is a success if they get up in the morning and gets to bed at night and in between does what he wants to do. Bob Dylan. Actually, I am an overnight success, but it took 20 years, Monty Hall. Happiness is nothing more than good health and a bad memory, Albert Schweitzer. Nothing is impossible to a willing heart. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple, Dr. Seuss. Life without love is like a tree without blossom and fruit, Khalil Gibran. Peace begins with a smile, Mother Teresa. A ship is safe in harbor, but that is not what ships are for. All power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that, Swami Vivekananda. A happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers. Nothing will work unless you do, Maya Angelou. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time, Bernard Russell. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger, Buddha. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps, Confucius. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent, Eleanor Roosevelt. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much, Helen Keller. Keep away from people who belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Mark Twain. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Oscar Wilde. There is no substitute for hard work. Thomas Alva Edison. Arise, awake, and don't stop until the goal is achieved. Swami Vivekananda. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Hate the sin, love the sinner. Mahatma Gandhi. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Maya Angelou. He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. There never was a good war or a bad peace. Benjamin Franklin. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far. Theodore Roosevelt. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Benjamin Franklin. By being frank in life, you may get a lot of enemies, but surely not fake friends. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. John F. Kennedy. Wealth is lost, nothing is lost. Health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. Happiness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to deal with them. Never, 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 never give up. Winston Churchill. You can fool some of the people all of the time and all of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. Focus on your strengths and manage your weakness. Vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. God may not come when you want Him to, but He will always be on time. There is more to life than increasing its speed. Mahatma Gandhi. I don't pay good wages because I have a lot of money. I have a lot of money because I pay good wages. Robert Bosch. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Give and it shall be given to you. For whatever measure you deal out to others, it will be dealt to you in return. Bible. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. William Shakespeare. Don't try to be different, just be good. To be good is different enough. Arthur Freed. Respect yourself and others will respect you. Confucius. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Proverbs. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away today's peace. We are judged by what we finish, not by what we start. When you want to succeed as bad as you wanna breathe, then you will be successful. Eric Thomas. When you were born, you were crying and everyone else was smiling. Live your life so at the end you are the one who is smiling and everyone else is crying. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Whatever you do, strive to do it so well that no man living and no man dead and no man yet to be born could do it any better. Dr. Benjamin Mays. Comparison is the death of joy, Mark Twain. Imitation is suicide, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Think in the morning, act in the noon, eat in the evening, sleep in the night, William Blake. If you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way, Napoleon Hill. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you, Walt Whitman. Love has no age, no limit, and no death, John Galsworthy. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today, H. Jackson Brown Jr. A hungry stomach, an empty pocket, and a broken heart can teach you the best lessons of life. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again, fail better. Samuel Beckett. I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas Edison. Problems are not stop signs. They are guidelines. Robert H. Sculler. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. Maya Angelou. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. Og Mandeo. A strong, positive self-image is the best possible preparation for success. Joyce Brothers. Happiness is not a goal. It is a byproduct of a life well lived. Eleanor Roosevelt. You cannot shake hands with a clenched fist. Indira Gandhi. Learning never exhausts the mind. Leonardo da Vinci. If you cannot be a poet, be the poem. David Carradine. Life is about making an impact, not making an income. Kevin Cross. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Sun Tzu. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay. A pint of sweat saves a gallon of blood. Georges Patton. You can do anything, but not everything. David Allen. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. A room without books is like a body without a soul. Marcus Tullius Cicero. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Mark Twain. You cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. Swami Vivekananda. If we really want to love, we must learn how to forgive. Mother Teresa. Life is like a flowing river, full of opportunities. It is up to you whether you take bucket or a spoon from it. Learn to say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. John C. Maxwell. To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. Buddha. There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. Henry Ford. By three methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Confucius. You are what you think. So, just think big, believe big, act big, work big, give big, forgive big, laugh big, love big, and live big. Andrew Carnegie. There is little success where there is little laughter. Andrew Carnegie. You cannot push anyone up the ladder unless he is willing to climb. Andrew Carnegie. No man can become rich without himself enriching others. Do your duty and a little more, and the future will take care of itself. No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself or get all the credit for doing it. Do not look for approval except for the consciousness of doing your best. As I grow older, I pay less attention to what men say. I just watch what they do. Andrew Carnegie. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Leo Buscaglia. Never idolize others. They will never live up to your expectations. I have a very strong feeling that the opposite of love is not hate. It is apathy. It is not giving a damn. Only the weak are cruel. Gentleness can only be expected from the strong. Life lived for tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. Love is life. And if you miss love, you miss life. Love is like a mirror. When you love another, you become his mirror and he becomes yours. And reflecting each other's love, you see infinity. That is always our problem, not how to get control of people, but how all together we can get control of a situation. Mary Parker Follett. All policing is done by friction. Management is the art of getting things done through people. Leader and followers are both following the invisible leader with a common purpose. Unity, not uniformity, must be our aim. No one can give us democracy. We must learn democracy. A leader should demonstrate his thoughts and opinions through his actions, not through his words. Jack Weatherford. Focus on opportunities, not problems. Peter Drucker. Time is the scarcest resource, and unless it is managed, nothing else can be managed. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Plans are only good intentions unless they immediately degenerate into hard work. If you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. Knowledge has to be improved, challenged, and increased constantly, or it vanishes. People learn the most when teaching others. Doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing right. History has been written not by the most talented, but by the most motivated. Business has only two basic functions, marketing and innovation. Whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. Have courage for the great sorrows of life and patience for the small ones. And when you have laboriously accomplished your daily tasks, go to sleep in peace. God is awake. Victor Hugo. Listening is not a skill, it is a discipline. Peter Drucker. Control your own destiny or someone else will. Jack Well. Face reality as it is, not as it was or as you wish it to be. Jack Well. No religion is higher than humanity. Abdul Sattar Idi. Be ashamed of your hatred. Give up hatred and be quiet. Sai Baba of Shirdi. If you are wealthy, be humble. Plants bend when they bear fruit. Do not be obsessed by the importance of wealth. You must pass your days in song. Let your whole life be a song. A winner is someone who recognizes his God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses these skills to accomplish his goals. Larry Bird. My message is simple. Take control of your life. Charles Barkley. If you are scared to fail, you don't deserve to be successful. Charles Barkley. Run away from greatness and greatness will follow you. Abu Bakr. The greatest truth is honesty and the greatest falsehood is dishonesty. Be good to others. That will protect you against evil. He who avoids complaint invites happiness. In the matter of justice, all should be equal in your eyes. If you want to control other people, first control yourself. If you cannot get a miracle, become one. Nick Vujicic. I never met a bitter person who was thankful, or a thankful person who was bitter. Nick Vujicic. You can either be angry for what you don't have, or thankful for what you do have. Do your best and God will do the rest. Some injuries heal more quickly if you keep moving. The greater the struggle, the more glorious the triumph. Choose people who lift you up. Michelle Obama. Don't let anyone speak for you and don't rely on others to fight for you. Success isn't about how much money you make, it is about the difference you make in people's lives. Walk away from friendships that make you feel small and insecure and seek out people who inspire you and support you. Freedom is something that dies unless it is used. Hunter S. Thompson. I learned a long time ago that reality was much weirder than anyone's imagination. Never turn your back on fear. It should always be in front of you, like a thing that might have to be killed. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Kevin Durant. There is never a point where you can stop getting better. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. Theodore Roosevelt. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Carl Jung. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Carl Jung. If you are a gifted person, it doesn't mean that you gained something. It means you have something to give back. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Francis of Assisi. To ask the right question is already half the solution of a problem. Carl Jung. We may have different religions, different languages, different colored skin, but we all belong to one human race. Kofi Annan. Knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. People should wake up in the morning and say, I am not a job seeker, I am a job creator. Muhammad Yunus. If you want to do something, you have to imagine it. If you don't imagine it, it will never happen. Making money is a happiness, and that is a great incentive. Making other people happy is a super happiness. Poverty does not belong in civilized human society. Its proper place is in a museum. That is where it will be. I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship. Louisa May Alcott. Cheerfulness can change misfortune into love and friends. A revolution is not a bed of roses. Fidel Castro. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. No man has any natural authority over his fellow men. There is nothing better than the encouragement of a good friend. We should not teach children the sciences, but give them a taste for them. 80% of results will come from just 20% of the action. Pareto. Take care of your inner spiritual beauty that will reflect in your face. Dolores Del Rio. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Henry Ford. Do not wait, the time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. George Herbert. In seeking truth, you have to get both sides of your story. Walter Cronkite. There is no such thing as a little freedom. Either you are all free or you are not free. Success is more permanent when you achieve it without destroying your principles. Whatever the cost of our libraries, the price is cheap compared to that of an ignorant nation. Take the stones people throw at you and use them to build a monument. Ratan Tata. If you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but its own mindset can. The only rock I know that stays steady, the only institution I know that works is the family. Lee Lococa. My father always used to say that when you die, if you have got 5 real friends, then you have had a great life. Trouble shared is trouble halved. In times of great stress or adversity, it is always best to keep busy, to plow your anger and your energy into something positive. Don't criticize what you can't understand. Bobby Dylan. A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night and in between does what he wants to do. Bob Dylan. No one is free, even the birds are chained to the sky. Some people feel the rain, others just get wet. You can never be wise and be in love at the same time. Success is how well you do what you do when nobody else is looking. John Paul DeJoria. Pay attention to the vital few and ignore the trivial many. Talent is God-given. Be humble. Fame is man-given. Be grateful. Conceit is self-given. Be careful. John Wooden. Be more concerned with your character than with your reputation. Your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. John Wooden. You cannot live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Be quick, but don't hurry. Listen if you want to be heard. Whatever you do in life, Surround yourself with smart people who will argue with you. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Vinci Lombardi. Winners never quit and quitters never win. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Once you learn to quit, it becomes a habit. In the end, there is only one life, so we should live it the way we want. Jack London. Time and tide wait for no man. Geoffrey Chaucer. A man with no enemies is a man with no character. Paul Newman. A man can only be judged by his actions and not by his good intentions or his beliefs. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. Robin Williams. The worst thing in life is not to end up all alone. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone. Truth is like a sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it isn't going anyway. Elvis Presley. When things go wrong, don't go with them. What is not started today is never finished tomorrow. Goethe. Corrections does much, but encouragement does more. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. Wisdom is found only in truth. Whatever you cannot understand, you cannot possess. Be generous with kindly words, especially about those who are absent. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. Thomas J. Watson. If you want to achieve excellence, you can get there today. As of this second, quit doing less than excellent work. To be successful, you have to have your heart in business and your business in your heart. Do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Bible. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. Treat others the same way you want them to treat you. Everything is possible for one who believes. No matter how talented you are, not everyone is going to like you, but that is life. Stay strong. Justin Bieber. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. Galileo Galilei. We cannot teach people anything. We can only help them discover it within themselves. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. Rose is a rose is a rose is a rose. Gerda Stein. It is awfully important to know what is it and what is not your business. Gerda Stein. Without a struggle, there can be no progress. Frederick Douglass. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. A gentleman will not insult me, and no man, not a gentleman, can insult me. Once you learn to read, you will be forever free. To suppress free speech is a double wrong. It violates the rights of the hearer as well as those of the speaker. There will never be a new world order until women are a part of it. Alice Paul. Words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind. Rudyard Kipling. God could not be everywhere, and therefore He made mothers. Never look backwards or you will fall down the stairs. Recommend to your children virtue. That alone can make them happy, not gold. Beethoven. Music is the mediator between the spiritual and the sensual life. Rule your mind or it will rule you. Horace. Your own safety is at stake when your neighbor's wall is ablaze. Once a word has been allowed to escape, it cannot be recalled. It is courage, courage, courage that raises the blood of life to crimson splendor. Live bravely and present a brave front to adversity. He will always be a slave who does not know how to live upon a little. Whatever advice you give, be brief. A man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. Thomas Carlyle. Nothing builds self-esteem and self-confidence like accomplishment. A loving heart is the beginning of all knowledge. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. Clement Stone. Truth is always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief or ignorance. Be careful the environment you choose, for it will shape you. Be careful the friends you choose, for you will become like them. Thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. Success is achieved and maintained by those who try and keep trying. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. There is very little difference in people, but that little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude. Try, 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 and keep on trying is the rule that must be followed to become an expert in anything. To be happy, make other people happy. Worrying about your problem is not a strategy for change. Jody Williams. Take 10 minutes for reflection and think about what you want to do with your day. Tum. There is only one happiness in the life, to love and be loved. George Sand. Kind words do not cost much, yet they accomplish much. Blaise Pascal. Do you wish people to think well of you? Don't speak well of yourself. Man's greatness lies in his power of thought. The struggle alone pleases us, not the victory. In difficult times, carry something beautiful in your heart. Imagination decides everything. The power of a man's virtue should not be measured by his special efforts, but by his ordinary doing. To accomplish great things, we must not only act but also dream, not only plan but also believe. Until friends. If a million people say a foolish thing, it is still a foolish thing. It is better to understand little than to misunderstand a lot. Friends show their love in times of trouble, not in happiness. Riptis. It is a good thing to be rich and strong, but it is a better thing to be loved. One loyal friend is worth 10,000 relatives. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. Rick Warren. The only way you can serve God is by serving other people. We are products of our past, but we do not have to be prisoners of it. Those who follow the crowd usually get lost in it. The only really happy people are those who have learned how to serve. Happy moments praise God. Difficult moments seek God. Quiet moments worship God. Painful moments trust God. Every moment thank God. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Victor Hugo. Change your opinions, keep to your principles. Change your leaves, keep intact your roots. Victor Hugo. Perseverance, secret of all triumphs. People do not lack strength, they lack will. Life is the flower for which love is the honey. Laughter is the sun that drives winter from the human face. There is nothing like a dream to create the future. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. L. Nightingale. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Pillai. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They came through you, but not from you, and through they are not with you, yet they belong not to you. Khalil Gibran. The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. Nelson Mandela. We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Martin Luther King. I am not a product of my circumstances, I am a product of my decisions. Stephen Covey. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Christopher Columbus. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Jim Rohn. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. Big jobs usually go to the men who prove their ability to outgrow small ones. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Lolly Daskal. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. Michael John Bobak. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Anais Nin. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. C.S. Lewis. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Japanese proverb. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Chinese proverb. Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. Maria Robinson. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. Dalai Lama. A truth that is told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. William Blake. Where mercy, love, and pity dwell, there God is dwelling too. Don't look where you fell, but where you slipped. African proverb. Only a fool tests the depth of the water with both feet. Tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. If you are filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom. If the camel once gets his nose in the tent, his body will soon follow. Do not cut down the tree that gives you shade. Ask the experienced rather than the learned. The tree of silence bears the fruit of peace. Whoever is happy will make others happy too. Laziness may appear attractive, but work gives satisfaction. Anne Frank. No one has ever become poor by giving. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. René Descartes. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt as far as possible all things. Except our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. There is no friend as loyal as a book. Ernest Hemingway. Never mistake motion for action. Fear of death increases in exact proportion to increase in wealth. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Before you act, listen. Before you react, think. Before you spend, earn. Before you criticize, wait. Before you pray, forgive. Before you quit, try. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too. Ernest Hemingway. If something is wrong, fix it if you can. But train yourself not to worry. Worry never fixes anything. Tell me to what you pay attention, and I will tell you who you are. Gazette. We do not judge the people we love. Jean-Paul Sartre. Words are loaded pistols. Better to die on one's feet than to live on one's knees. When rich people fight wars with one another, poor people are the ones to die. The more sand that has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. I hate victims who respect their excuseness. Nurture your mind with great thoughts. To believe in the heroic makes heroes. Benjamin Disraeli. I am prepared for the worst but hope for the best. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. Seeing much, suffering much, and studying much are the three pillars of learning. To be conscious that you are ignorant is a great step to knowledge. Bore, one who has the power of speech but not the capacity for conversation. Your positive action combined with positive thinking results in success. Shiv Khera. Winners see the gain, losers see the pain. Motivation is like fire. Unless you keep adding fuel to it, it dies. Your fuel is your belief in your inner values. It is better to be honorable than be honored. Under adverse conditions, some people break down, some break records. The smallest of actions is always better than the noblest of intentions. Robin S. Sharma. Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. Stop making excuses and just do it. Laughing is medicine for the soul. Happiness is nothing more than good health and a bad memory. Honesty is the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom. Thomas Jefferson. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Albert Einstein. Never spend your money before you have earned it. Thomas Jefferson. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more. Jonas Salk. I have had dreams and I have had nightmares. I overcame the nightmares because of my dreams. Jonas Salk. Our greatest responsibility is to be good ancestors. A gentle word, a kind look, a good natured smile can work wonders and accomplish miracles. William Hazlitt. Those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. He will never have true friends who is afraid of making enemies. Who likes not his business likes not him. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Elon Musk. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. The best way of learning about anything is by doing. Richard Branson. You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. Do not be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again. If something offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. Throwing yourself into a job you enjoy is one of the life's greatest pleasures. Put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest act. This is the secret of success. Swami Sivananda. Forget like a child any injury done by somebody immediately. Never keep it in the heart. It kindles hatred. There is something good in all seeming failures. You are not to see that now. Time will reveal it. Be patient. If you shoot for the stars, you will at least hit the moon. T. Howe Iker. Money will only make you more of what you already are. What you hear, you forget. What you see, you remember. What you do, you understand. There can be no real freedom without the freedom to fail. Eric Fromm. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Dr. Wayne Dyer. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. What others think about you is none of your business. Jack Canfield. There are essentially two things that will make you wise: the books you read and the people you meet. Sometimes you dance with a partner and sometimes you dance alone. But the important thing is to keep dancing. Don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. I am not upset that you lied to me. I am upset that from now on I can't believe you. Friedrich Nietzsche. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Excellence is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. John W. Gardner. Life is the art of drawing without an eraser. True happiness involves the full use of one's power and talents. One of the reasons people stop learning is that they become less and less willing to risk failure. The world loves talent but pays off on character. If you don't go after what you want, you will never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you are always in the same place. Nora Roberts. Laugh as much as you breathe and love as long as you live. Johnny Depp. Just keep moving forward and don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. Do what you have to do for you. The activist is not the man who says the river is dirty. The activist is the man who cleans up the river. Rose Pertot. You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right. Rosa Parks. Each person must live their life as a model for others. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Stephen King. The devil's voice is sweet to hear. Life is like a wheel. Sooner or later, it always comes around to where you started again. You have to train your brain to be positive just like you work out your body. Schonacker. An orator without judgment is a horse without bridle. Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend. Theoprostet. God never takes away something from your life without replacing it with something better. Billy Graham. Almost everybody will listen to you when you tell your own story. Every day is a gift from God, no matter how old we are. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of time. Charles Darwin. If I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week. I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It is there all the time. In our dreams, we can have our egg cooked exactly how we want them, but we can't eat them unafraid. We are imprisoned in the realm of life like a sailor on his tiny boat on an infinite ocean, unafraid. The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Ralph Nader. Your best teacher is your last mistake. The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. William James. The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human can alter his life by altering his attitude. If you want a quality, act as if you already had it. William James. I don't sing because I'm happy because I sing. The most important thing is to enjoy your life, to be happy. It's all that matters. Audrey Hepburn. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I am possible. Anyone who does not believe in miracles is not a realist. Action is the foundational key to all success. Pablo Picasso. Love is the greatest refreshment in life. If you have enemies, good, that means you stood up for something. Eminem. You are the only one who can make the difference. Whatever your dream is, go for it. Magic Johnson. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Les Brown. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes and move on. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Perfection does not exist. You can always do better and you can always grow. It is not over until you win. You must remain focused on your journey to greatness. Think big thoughts but relish small pleasures. Jackson Brown Jr. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. I have learned that being kind is more important than being right. Every person that you meet knows something you don't. Learn from them. Life doesn't record that we be the best, only that we try our best. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. Live so that when your children think of fairness and integrity, they think of you. Follow the 3 R's. Respect for self, respect for others, responsibility for all your actions. Sometimes the heart sees what is invisible to the eyes. Opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. If you are doing your best, you won't have time to worry about failure. Judge your success by the degree that you are enjoying peace, health, and love. Don't delay acting on a good idea. Chances are someone else has just thought of it too. Success comes to the one who acts first. Find a job you like and you add 5 days to every week. Spend less time worrying who is right, more time deciding what is right. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. The person that you will spend most time with in your life is yourself, so better try to make yourself as interesting as possible. Climb mountains not so the world can see you, but so you can see the world. If you risk nothing, you risk everything. Victory introduces you to the world, but defeat introduces the world to you. If you don't do stupid things while you are young, you will have nothing to smile about when you are old. Never compare your weaknesses to other people's strength. Don't waste your precious energy on gossip. Don't waste your time with explanation. People only hear what they want to hear. Don't rest after your first victory, because if you fail the second time, more lips will be waiting to say that your first victory was just luck. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, and show up. Don't take yourself so seriously, no one else does. Time heals almost everything. Give time time. If you are right, then there is no need to get angry, and if you are wrong, then you don't have any right to get angry. Never think hard about the past, it brings tears. Don't think more about the future, it brings fears. Live this moment with your smile, it brings cheers. Life is what happens to you while you are busy making other plans. John Lennon. Happiness, quiet and shared, can scarcely be called happiness. It has no taste. Charlotte Bronte. I try to avoid looking forward or backward and try to keep looking upward. Nobody deserves your tears, but whoever deserves them will not make you cry. Gabo. You may only be a person in this world, but for someone you are the world. There will always be people who will hurt you, so you need to continue trusting. Just be careful. It is not true that people stop pursuing dreams because they grow old. They grow old because they stop pursuing dreams. A good plan, violently executed now, is better than a perfect plan next week. George's Patton. I don't measure a man's success by how high he climbs, but how high he bounces when he hits bottom. Better to fight for something than live for nothing. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. You cannot change your destination overnight. You can change your direction. Excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. Focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. Tony Robbins. If you do what you have always done, you will get what you have always gotten. Identify your problems, but give your power and energy to solutions. Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. The secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use you. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Abraham Lincoln. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you will never get it done. Bruce Lee. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. Abraham Lincoln.